much time. So yeah, let me welcome all of you to this online workshop organized by the Institute for International Political Economy together with the European Journal of Economics and Economic Policies and the Forum for Macroeconomics and Macroeconomic Policies. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the organizers of this workshop, who are Valeria Jimenez, whom you can see on my screen to the left. I don't know where she is on your screen. Valeria is a PhD student at the Berlin School and a lecturer, and also a member of the IPE. Hans-Jörg Herr, who is a retired professor at the Berlin School and a member of the IPE, and Jan Prive, also a retired professor from HTW, University of Applied Science here in Berlin, and also an associate member of the IPE, and myself. I'm Eckhard Hein. I'm still an active professor, although I must say Hans-Jörg and Jan are, although retired, maybe even more active than they have been before. I'm a professor of economics and economics here at the Berlin School of Economics and Law, and I'm the co-director of the IPE. I would like to introduce the three institutions briefly to you because some of the participants might not know them. In case you need more, I have included the links into the chat so that you can also check about these institutions and the organizers of this current workshop. By the way, that's the second online workshop IPE is hosting, and it's the first workshop in cooperation with the journal and with the FMM. The IPE itself was founded in 2008 as an institute in the Berlin School of Economics and Law. Currently, it has around 24 members from 4 disciplines, so from economics, sociology, political science, and law. So we are an interdisciplinary institute. We are 8 professors, 4 retired but still very active professors, 3 postdocs, 7 junior researchers, and 2 students, student assistants. We have more than 20 associate members, so lecturers, former professors, former members who are now working in parliament or with the trade unions or with think tanks. So we are part of a network which is also including non-university institutions. Our research is mainly in 4 areas, and you can explore that a bit more in detail, which are the political economy and the welfare state, financialization, macroeconomics and economic policies, globalization and the global south, and socio-ecological and economic transition. As I said, on our website, you can learn more about our research, our activities, and also about our publications. On the website, you can also subscribe to our newsletter, and you can follow us you have the link to follow us on Twitter. We are doing this workshop together with the European Journal of Economics and Economic Policies Intervention, which was founded a bit earlier than the IPE in 2004. EGIP, as we call it, according to the acronyms, is a peer-reviewed journal which serves as a forum of studies in macroeconomic theory, economic institutions, and economic policies, and it focuses on post-Keynesian economics in particular. The journal is linked with a research network, which is the 3rd host of this workshop, and it publishes 3 issues per year. And we will publish the revised versions of the papers being presented or to be presented in this workshop. We're planning to publish them in the first issue of 2022. Again, you have the link if you want to learn more about EGIP in the chat. The 3rd co-organizer is the Forum for Macroeconomics and Macroeconomic Policies, the FMM, founded even earlier in the mid-1990s as a research network, macroeconomics and macroeconomic policies, in order to promote pluralist macro research The focus is on post-Keynesian economics, but the network is also open to other heterodox strands and also to critical orthodoxy, if there is something like that. The network is hosting annual conferences in Berlin. Before Corona, these conferences usually had 350 up to 400 participants, presenting more than 100 or even 120 papers, if I remember correctly. The network is also organizing biannual summer schools for master students, PhD students, and young researchers on post-Keynesian macroeconomics and economic policies. There was a summer school planned for 2021, which has now been shifted to 2022, late July. Again, you can learn about that if you're interested on the website of the network. The workshop, which we have organized for today and tomorrow, has grown out of a panel of the last year conference of the FMM, which was an online conference. And we had an exciting panel with Steffen Lange, Peter Victor, and Amon Rezai. And we thought we could do more about that. And so we agreed together with the journal and the IPE that we should organize a 2-day workshop on the issues being touched upon in this panel. And I'm particularly grateful to Peter, Steffen, and Amon, with co-authors now, to be available for this workshop and to present their papers here in this workshop. If you visit the website of the FMM, then you will learn that the next FMM conference in late October, 28th through the 31st of October, is on a topic closely related to what we're doing here today, on a topic on macroeconomics of socio-ecological transition. Registration is open. I think the deadline is mid-October or so. So feel free to register and to participate in this conference too. Now, this workshop is on degrowth, zero growth, and or green growth, and it links to discussions, attempts at exploring and linking post-Keynesian economics or post-Keynesian macroeconomics with ecological economics. This has been a debate, as far as I see it, for more than a decade. And that in the recent years, there have been several attempts at and contributions at exploring the ecological constraints and integrating ecological issues into post-Keynesian macro models in particular. Some of the authors are here in this workshop and will present their attempts. On a broader scale, we have seen not only in post-Keynesian macroeconomics, but more generally in heterodox economics, a debate on the growth imperative in a monetary production economy, i.e. capitalist economy, and on the compatibility of zero growth induced by the ecological constraints with capitalism. And we will touch upon this debate here in this workshop as well. So the focus of this workshop will be on linking post-Keynesian macroeconomic research with ecological economics or with ecological constraints, and to explore several dimensions which are related to that. All of you are aware of the workshop program, so we will start today with 2 sessions. So the first one, which will start immediately after this introduction, with a paper by Valeria Jimenez and myself on zero growth and macroeconomic stability, a post-Keynesian approach, and a paper, I think, which is linked with what we are doing by Giuseppe Fontana and Malcolm Sawyer on what would zero growth be achievable and sustainable. In the second session, I think similar issues are explored, namely by Steffen Lange on macroeconomics beyond growth, or presentation on macroeconomics beyond growth, and then by Jan Prive in a presentation on the critique of zero growth modeling. So these will be the two sessions today. And since we all know that online conferences are very exhausting, we thought that this should be it. And we will have another two sessions tomorrow, again, starting at 2 o'clock, with a presentation by Birte Strunk, Amon Ritzai, and Stefan Edra on policies for navigating Scylla and Charybdis, the role of labor markets in a socio-ecological transition, and a second paper by Antoine Montserrat on buying into inequality, a macroeconomic analysis linking planned obsolescence, interpersonal inequality, and potential for degrowth. You will see that these presentations go more in detail with specific issues related to our workshop topic. The final session tomorrow in the late afternoon will then include Martin Sears and Peter Victor with a paper or presentation on ecological economics and climate change. And we will have a final paper by Hans-Jörg Kehr on how to transform capitalism. Before I finish this brief introduction, let me make some technical notes for how we would like to proceed in this workshop. So in each session, we will have the two presentations in a row. Each presentation should not last more than 25 minutes. And then we will have 40 minutes for the discussion of both papers. Please use the chat to indicate if you have questions or if you want to make a comment, but by just typing Q for question or C for comment. I leave it to you to make the proper, use the proper letter. We will then ask you to switch on the camera and your microphone and to ask your question. And we would also like you to briefly introduce yourself with your name and your affiliation, because we would like to have this as a workshop and not as a big conference. But since time is a scarce resource, as we know, please keep your questions or comments short, so that we can take as many participants on board for this Q&A part. The PowerPoints of the presentations will be uploaded to the IPE website after the workshop, immediately after the workshop. So you should find them, I hope, well, tomorrow in the evening or at the latest on Monday. On the IPE website. And we will also record the presentations of those speakers who have agreed to, and we will make them available on our website a couple of days after the workshop. So expect that maybe for late next week. We will only record the presentation but not the discussion, because, well, people might feel that they should not speak up if it were on the internet forever. So we will only record the presentation and stop the recording after the presentation. We hope that this arrangement will be in favor of an engaging and critical discussion. And, well, I'm looking forward towards this discussion, and I would like to thank all of you for participating, and in particular the speakers for being available for this workshop and for presenting their papers. Thank you very much. I will then